As Jerry and Esther are leaving Phoenix on their way to San Diego, it's 400 miles. They know it. They just got to go west. They know they will eventually get there. It takes a few hours, the better part of a day. But they never get 5 or 10 miles out on the road and start arguing with each other about whose fault it is that they're not there yet. They understand the process of going. In fact, they understand it so well that they enjoy every mile of the journey. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The desert is magnificent. It is a wonderful place to be. And we want you to understand that everywhere that you are, even if you would call it a desert in relationship to some oasis you are hoping for, everywhere you are, there is that which you want to see if you will train yourself to look for it. And the more you train yourself to look for things you want to see when you are in what you, relatively speaking, call the desert area of your life experience, the more you achieve a vibrational alignment with who you really are, and the more you begin to flow more quickly in the direction of what you are wanting. And closing that gap between who you're being in this moment and that which your life has caused you to become is the most delicious state of being. Physical humans keep thinking, I'll feel better. Esther heard it yesterday while she was in the beauty shop. She heard a woman say, in my next life, I'm going to come back as, and Esther is holding her breath. She can't wait to hear what the woman is going to say. I'm going to come back as a man, she said, because they have all of the advantages. And Esther smiled and thought as many downstream thoughts as she could think. And the other woman said, well, I don't care if I'm a man or a woman, I just want to be rich. And Esther wanted so much to tell them what she knows, but she could tell there wasn't enough time in this lifetime. And then they looked at Esther, and she looked at them like, what? And Esther said, we are all as rich as we can let ourselves be. And they said, did you see these Halloween decorations? It was the swiftest changing of a subject that Esther has ever experienced in her entire life. Because they're happy with their view of life. They are uncomfortable with the idea that they could be living differently than they are. They're happier accepting it as just the way that it is, and they seemed quite comfortable in beating the drum of complaint about it. And Esther thought, well, I'll just plant this little seed, and maybe if there is sincere desire there, they'll find some way of understanding that there is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. There is nothing that keeps you from whatever your life has caused you to identify that you want, other than the direction of your boat in the stream over which you have complete control. But what trips you up is you don't have complete control over where you are right now, this red hot minute, in relationship to what you want. You don't have control over that. You only have control over the direction of your boat in the stream. But that is enough. Can you see that that is enough? Because when you stop doing that thing you do that keeps turning you upstream, when you stop doing that thing, you will flow with the current. And the more you flow with the current, the more you will close the gap between what you've been asking for and where you are. Life just gets better and better and better and better. You are creative genius, and you have come forth into this physical experience to create by the standards of your personal preferences. You never, not one of you, intended to use the criteria of others' creations to beat yourself about the head with a club. Not one of you said, I will come forth and I will evaluate what everyone's created, and I will compare what they're creating with what I'm creating, and then I will feel superior or inferior in relationship to what others are doing. Because you knew that this universe was so expansive, so diverse, and that there would be people creating all kinds of things that you were not interested in and some things that you are. But you intended to come forth to carve out your life experience, because you understood when your life caused you to ask for it, the source would say immediately yes, and then that all you have to do is turn and allow yourself to go with the flow. So we call this gathering the art of allowing. The art of allowing myself in my physical form to stay up to speed with that which my life in this physical body has caused the expanded version of me to become. And as you begin to do this, you're going to begin to feel the true essence of who you are. You'll begin to feel how clear you are, how sure you are, how loving you are, how relaxed you are. You'll begin to feel how confident you are, how much love capacity you have for yourself and others. You're going to begin to feel the God within you present in more of your moment-to-moment, day-to-day experiences. You're going to return to the you that you really are. And as you close that gap, you will rejoice in this physical experience. For then you will see this world as it really is. You will not see it as flawed or broken. You will not see it as digressing and moving backwards, because it cannot, you see. It cannot move backwards. It must become more. And the only thing that makes anyone conclude that it is moving backwards is that they are moving in the wrong direction, and they are creating that tension within their body because they are not letting themselves go with the flow that which is source has become in this time-space reality. Do you know that what you live as you move through the contrast of your life in this generation, in these generations, will be the stuff that the future generations are born into? Do you know that the benefit that you give to the future of those who will come forth into this creative experience, that future is so much brighter because of what you've been living and what you've been asking for? That's why the future is always more. It must be. It is the way the entire universe is established. We want you to benefit by what you in your life has caused you to become. And when you allow yourself to go with your self-created flow, and you get in sync with that source energy being that is really you, it just does not get any better than that. Don't do it for us. We're getting ours. In other words, we revel in every new idea you have. We revel in every jam you get yourself into and every conclusion that is born out of it. We go right to the answer. We go right to the conclusion. We go right to the expansion. We are riding your rockets. This seminar is about you coming along for the ride. And when you do, life is so bright, and those who are watching you stand back in somewhat amazement, and they say, how is it that you remain on the crest of every wave? I see you just barely speculating that you would like to participate in something, and it's as if the magic carpet rolls out and it is provided for you. And you would say, and not for you? It should be that way for all of us. And we want to say to you, it is that way for all of you. We're eager to talk with you about anything you want to talk about. Nothing is off limits. It will unfold wonderfully.